It's leaving to go pick her up for dinner on the third date without a single rubber in the car. No one.
Everywhere, like every time we go somewhere, the Pizza Boys.
I walked in this pizza joint. I think this guy's like a gangster or something.
Stay away from the car, you know? I didn't say you little jag off, move out of the way, you know?
Before I whip your dad's fucking ass.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a giant hot rod. Right. I mean, it is like detailed beyond belief. And everything you look at, like you said, it's not done by an architect because you could clearly tell it was a challenge. I mean, it was more intimidating, I think, once we saw the car. Is when we picked the car up, and it shows up, and it's like 2 quarter panels and a roof skin sitting on kind of sort of a half-finished tubular chassis, and it had little Viper wheels and tires on it.
But I'll tell you, the car turned out beautiful. So she says, you buy that car, I'm leaving, I'm gone. And I'm like, okay. So the next day I go and buy the car. She's mad. I mean, she said, I wanted to rear end that thing. Well, there was a watermelon on the counter.
Yeah, she just got back from grocery shopping. So
she busted that watermelon.
Welcome, everybody, back to Oil and Whiskey. We've got the Fejzuloski. I said that right? Right? Pretty close.
The
close enough.
The Paisans Boys.
Well, the Paisan Boys, from the Paisan Pizza Empire. Boris's Besties, Glenn's Goons. I mean, you're known by a lot of different names out in the car world.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Glad to have you guys in.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Brought all kinds of cool shit. We got pizza, we got hats, we got cartel boots.
The cartel boots are
that
cool.
could win. That could win best gift so far.
Oh, careful. We've said that a couple times, and John Jackson's gotten his feelings hurt. He's like, you realize that was a truck stop treasure, not a gift. Like, we're going to go to battle.
Rules and regulations, right?
Yeah. Glad you guys could make it, man. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to be here, so we're excited.
Yeah, we knew, it's maybe a little unorthodox just having the Pizza Boys on here, but knowing you forever and to just, give everybody a little look behind the curtains here. Pete was like one of our first customers, way back in the day. But this is probably like the most colorful, fun, badass family that I know. So I thought it'd be awesome having you guys on here because you guys got a killer social media. I see Jimmy crushing it on there all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was pulling that up before we got on here or whatever. Y'all got like 11,500 followers on there. The shit y'all
it's
do
not
is
enough, but
fucking great.
Dude, after this, it'll be 11,502.
Yeah,
there you go.
It'll be so little it won't change the 0.5. It's like, I saw the new Oak Lawn facility. Looks fucking cool. You got a fucking plane in there.
Yeah, 1953 Cessna tail dragger. It's sick.
Planes, dragsters, motorcycles,
cars.
Yeah, cars.
We got 8 cars in there.
Yeah.
Tell us how this all. I'm interested to know why pizza, why restaurant. How did all this get started?
I think we need to open the pizza before we get into that because it's sitting here smelling. It's getting.
We can do that while we start telling the story.
We almost ate it on the way here, so it made it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
We got some dragon wings right there. So
Yeah, infamous dragon wing.
What's a dragon wing?
Once you try
Wings off of a dragon.
that's right.
Dude, that's where it's at.
Hard to get.
Mike Eden he's the dragon wing. Man,
You love the dragon
Mike Eden
wings.
probably put down some dragon wings too, I'll bet.
Let me tell you
yeah.
something. He advertised through all of PA. Everybody knew us over there.
Really?
They're like, oh my God, you guys are. He always called us the Chicago Pizza Mafia.
I don't know where that comes from. Where'd they get that?
I'm telling you, the TV show. I can't believe y'all don't have a TV show.
Yeah,
It would
Show
be
the
one day.
Kardashians what's up.
coming soon. You know.
Yeah, so Big Mike's first stop after getting here from the airport was always Paisans for dragon wings and sketty.
sketty.
What's spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
Oh, spaghetti.
That was
Spaghetti.
that was a PA way to say it.
Yeah.
The sketty.
Well, those Pennsylvania guys eat some weird shit. They put like French fries on their sandwiches and stuff.
He was telling me that there's a pizza joint put spaghetti on the pizza.
Huh.
And, some of them guys in the...
I don't know. That's probably why he was so fucked up.
Yeah. But
Send some of those napkins
we
around.
miss the guy, you know. It's just
Yeah, Mike, we miss him, man. We had we had Boris on here way back when, right about the time Mike passed, and shame, man. Mike was a good dude.
yeah. He would have probably been here on the podcast with us.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and but you know, it's a shame.
You'd have had to brought more dragon wings if he was on there.
We would have probably had to bring 24 of them, you know,
I'm gonna try this.
and a couple bigger pizzas. So,
These things hot.
you know what? They bite you at first,
All right.
and then it kind of it's like a sweet, spicy Asian sauce, but we make that stuff. It's beautiful.
You're hoping it's real hot, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm waiting just to see if it's
So-
scalding hot.
Yeah. So I know you were asking the pizza, where it comes from, how it started. You know, we started in '85. You know, originally we used to live in New York. We used to live in New York till 1980. My dad decided he wanted to move back to Europe, which is Macedonia. It's former Yugoslavia. We're actually right next to Greece, Italy, the middle there. And, you know, we moved back there. My dad started driving a taxi from the city to the village where he was born. And, you know, just drove there. My dad was a really good guy, you know. He would, if you were his friend, or you were his cousin, oh, you don't have to pay. Oh, this guy, you know, and you can't make a living like that. So in '83, he decided he was going to come back to United States, and he ended up coming to Chicago. He had some friends in Chicago, and he when he came here, started working, and he's always been in the pizza business. You know, he always worked even in New York. He worked in the pizza business. So when he came to Chicago, started working a couple places here and there, and 2 years later, he decided he's going to open up his own place.
How old are you at this point?
So at this point, I just finished 7th grade. I was 14 years old when we moved back to Europe, because me and my sister didn't know how to read or write the language. They put us back 2 years. So that's why when I tell people, you know, 7th grade, 14 years old, I got to explain it, because people will say, oh, this guy's a flunky, you know. So
Were you happy to come back, or were you pissed off?
no, actually, you know, my dad calls me up and he's like, hey, you know, what are you doing? You know, oh, nothing. He goes, how's school? I go, it sucks. He goes, how would you like to come here and work? You know, and I said, anything not to go to school. You know, my school wasn't my cup of tea, you know. Wasn't crazy about it. So he brought me here. He opened Paisans in a 700 square foot store. Started making pizzas in a cooking oven like we have at home, one pizza at a time. We sold ice cream, candy, cigarettes, pop, anything to make a couple dollars, you know. And when I came here, you know, I'd be working and people would be asking me, hey, you know, how come you don't go to school, you know? And I'd be like, you know, I get homeschooled, you know?
Were you really getting homeschooled, or were you just
No. So what happened is
So you're worried about telling the 14 and 7th grade, not the part about I didn't never go to school again.
Wow. So what happened is because all of my paperwork was back home when I came here, nobody really knew that I was that I got out of school. So if they would have found out that I wasn't going to school, my dad could have got in trouble, you know. So, but you know, started working, you know, 14 years old, making pizzas. And it just slowly got, as time went on, we got better, you know, grew a little bit more, started getting busier and busier. And in '90, we bought a building across the street. started, really, really doing good. It's one of them things where you work hard, a lot of work. I used to work all the time. All my friends a lot of the guys that were my friends through the pizza place that were neighbors around there, they would always invite me. Oh, let's go. We're going to the lake. I'm like, I can't. I got to work. Oh, we're gonna go hang out. On Archer. We're gonna cruise around. I couldn't go. And so that's where it started, and it snowballed into we're at 10 stores now. I got all 3 of my boys are in the business. I met my wife at Paisans. When I met her, one of my really good friends was dating her best friend, and there was a basketball game at one of the high schools, and they came to Paisans, and they came there to have pizza, so I sat with them a little bit, and once they left, my friend called me. He goes, "Hey, Julie thinks that you're cute, And I said, "Oh, she's cute too, So he says, she wants to come and see you, Well, I said, tell her to come by. I get off at 10 o'clock. And I wasn't thinking she was really going to be there at 10 o'clock. Right. 10 o'clock, there she is.
Damn.
And that was it, started with her, and then
and that's how Jimmy was made.
Actually, Petey's the first one. Then Dominic came, then Jimmy, and then my the cherry on top, Juliana.
Yeah, I think I was a mistake.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So like I said, a lot of work, and today we're blessed. We got a lot of good people working for us. I got all my boys are in the business. That's number one. I sacrificed a lot where when my kids were little, I didn't get to see them too much, and and sometimes it pays off, at the end.
Now he sees us too much.
Yeah. Now I see them all.
Making up for lost time.
Actually, to tell you the truth, my wife's jealous because I'm with them
all the time.
I'm with them all the time. It's kind of like she had them when they were little. Well, now I have them when they're big, and we
way easier that way.
Yeah.
No diapers changing, no crying, none of that.
It's more expensive now, though. I gotta.
Yeah, it is. It's more fun though.
Yeah, but it's nice to work with your kids. Like I said, I laid the foundation, and now they just got to take it and grow it bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and back when you were talking about, y'all bought the building across the street, and you start really rolling. What do you think the secret was at that point? Why did it start? I mean, obviously hard work, but what was the thing? Was it the pie? Was it what was the deal?
Well, you know what it is. When we, there used the guy that owned the building across the street, he used to sell donuts there. It was Johnny's Donuts, and the guy, he was kind of a little tight, and he
have a drink.
Sorry.
Yeah. He came to my dad and he said, "Hey, I want you to buy my building." He wasn't doing too good, so my dad's like, "I don't have no money." He goes, "I don't have credit. I don't have no money." And the guy goes, "Oh, I'll float the loan for you." Everything happens for a reason, And we ended up buying the building, and what I started doing that really blew our business up is, there was a school down the street from our original store, and we used to do really good with the kids. They used to come every day out for lunch. We'd sell them a slice of pizza and a pop for $1 back then, and and one day I was like, "Hey, I should start delivering flyers with these kids," and I ended up buying an old Suburban, I took out all the seats. And, I put a little sign out front. I said, hey, delivery flyer kids wanted, $5 and a slice of pizza. I probably got 50 or 60 kids came out there, And so I would have to, like, pick kids out. I'd take, like, 20 kids. I put them in that Suburban like sardines. I had them all in the back. And I would go and deliver. I would actually go and deliver flyers with them. And I tell these kids, hey, when you're done, like where our restaurants are, it's actually really easy because they're blocks. And it's all where kids can go like 4 or 5 blocks, go back and forth, and they can wait in a spot. So I would tell some of these kids, hey, just sit in it. I want you guys to wait over here. I'm going to come and pick you up. Well, what I would do is I'd check on them, drive around. Well, sometimes some of these kids would just walk back to the pizza place. And I'd be walking around everywhere, driving around, looking for these fucking kids for like a couple hours. And I'd come back to the pizza place, and they're there. And I'm like, I wanted to kill them, And so one day and that's what really blew our business up, where just coupons, house to house, And these days, I even tell my boys today, I want to keep on doing the same thing, but they're into the social media stuff and all that.
Yeah, a van full of kids is frowned upon now, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, times have changed.
And going back to that, every single week there's at least one person that comes up to us and says, hey, I used to deliver flyers for your dad.
Really?
Yeah, and they all say the same thing. After 10, 20 minutes, they throw all of them in the garbage can.
Right.
Go back.
Go get their slice and
get that
$5.
slice.
It worked.
I'll tell you something. What Dominic is talking about, next year we're celebrating 40 years of Paisans. And we have a lot of core customers that have been with us since we opened. And like when you talk about like what he's saying, these kids come and they used to be kids, now they're bringing their kids. And they're telling them like, hey, I used to deliver flyers for this guy. I own some of this, I'm part of this, you know what I mean? And like one guy a couple months ago was there with his son, and he goes, you know what? This was my first job, and I saved my money and I bought a Nintendo with my money, so it started off like that. And then, one day I was telling somebody how these kids, they walk back and do all that stuff. And a person goes to me, he goes, man, if something happened to one of these kids, you can say bye-bye to Paisans. And I'm like, what do you mean? What, something happened to him? Get hit by a car or something, you know what I mean? So, but, and then we're into, the other thing we love is cars. We're big car guys. I started off, my first car was an 88 GTA, Trans Am GTA. I was the first one out of all of my friends to have a brand new car.
That was the perks of working your ass off.
Yes.
Joint, right?
Yes. And
That T-top car?
no, it's a hardtop one, and I still have.
I just see you in
You
a
still
T-top.
got the same car?
Yes.
Man, you kept
I
it all
love
those
it.
years, huh?
I was driving down Ogden Avenue in Berwyn. Used to be Belzica's Pontiac. And I'm driving down and I see the car. How do you like the wings?
Good.
Huh?
Real good.
Good stuff. This liquor's good too. It's burning right through me.
Yeah, the liquor came from, you ever meet, they call him Cousin Mikey. He's the guy that hangs out with Greening at all the car shows.
I think I met him.
You've probably met him.
You've heard him for sure.
He's always there. He's probably listening to this right now.
Everybody's
He's like the modern day Cousin Eddie,
Oh, there you go.
Shitter's full.
Yeah. Right?
Thanks, cousin Eddie.
Yeah. And he's,
Hey, salute.
yeah, salute to him. It's it comes out of Nebraska or something.
He's the closest
Cheers, guys.
friend that's a non-Roadster Shop chassis customer.
Yeah, he gets by. He
Never
gets
single.
by on pure personality.
Yeah, and that one's wearing thin.
Yeah,
to be honest with
personality
you.
and sense of humor. Right?
Yeah, I think he's
But we
beyond
love-
overdrawn on that.
We love
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit is good. Whiskey's good.
GTA.
Trans Am GTA.
So
I'm
you
driving. I'm driving down Ogden, and I see this car in the showroom. And I go in there, and I'm like, man, I love this car. I love this car. And a salesman comes up, and he's talking to me. His name was Carmine, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing, kid?" He goes, "Oh, I like this car, He goes, "Well, it's a lot of money." I said, "Yeah, I know." So as he's asking me questions, he was asking me, "Where do you work?" And I told him I work at Paisans. "Oh, that's my friend Luigi." I said, "That's my dad." And I told him, I said, "Listen, yeah." I said, "I ain't leaving without this car. So you better call my dad and tell him that, I'm going to sleep here."
We try to do the same thing, but it doesn't work.
But
Go with your own
All
weird
right,
shit.
Dad, I'm at the Ferrari dealership. I'm not fucking leaving.
He just says, and you're sleeping there.
Yep.
see you later, boys. So the guy calls my dad up and says, "Hey, Luigi, I got your son Pete here. He likes this car, blah, 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 and really wants the car, So my dad took a ride over there, and he's like, "You really want the car?" He ended up buying it for me. So, that's how it started. I bought that car in '88. And then in '93, I always loved Mopars. I was always a Mopar guy, So in '93, I was sitting around, and one of my drivers goes, "Oh man, I just went to a
Garage sale.
garage sale," and he said, "This guy had a '68 Charger. It looked like it came off the assembly line." And I was like, and this was a Saturday, and I'm like, "Oh, that's nice, So, and he kept on going, I kept on going. "Oh, this Charger was beautiful, this and that." So I'm like, okay, So, so I go to him, "Well, where's the garage sale?" He gives me the address. So the next day I go over there. Loved the car. I fell in love with it. So I asked, "Who's the owner?" I want to see the owner. So, well, I knew who the guy was, He used to work at a Buick dealer, and he always came to lunch by us. So, so I go, "Hey, I love the car, but I ain't got no money." So he was selling the car for like $7,000, and I told him, I said, "Listen, I love the car. I don't have the money, but I said, would you hold the car? I'll give you money every week. When I pay you the $7,000, give me the car, And the guy knew that I was a car guy. He wanted to really sell the car to somebody that was going to take care of it, So he ended up holding it for me, and once I got it, I drove it around here and there, just kind of left it on the side, put it in the garage, and never really drove it that much. So, but I think a few years after that, I took it to get repainted because I didn't like how the paint job was. And when I took it by the guy to get painted, he said, "Let's strip the whole car." Once we stripped the whole car,
It's game over.
oh,
Yeah. That's
There
the
were-
famous last words.
I'll tell you something. That car had so much Bondo on it,
Oh, shit.
and
It was yellow.
it was yellow. and that car had so much Bondo on it where, you know, we had to change the quarters on it. We had to change the front quarters. The back looked like somebody backed into a pole, and it was just fixed. And
Just molded over it.
yeah, you know, like if you don't understand body work or on any of that stuff, you know, you can. So,
Yeah, they can make a shitty car look good.
Oh yeah.
yeah. So,
You've talked about it before, though. That decision, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a decision to strip it down. It seems like you're doing the right thing. It seems like we need to take it down.
It's the equivalent of like, yeah, honey, let's buy the house, or like, yes, let's have kids. You know, it's right there. It's the third one that's equal is let's take the paint off this thing. Let's media blast it or acid dip it.
It's leaving.
Yeah.
It's leaving to go pick her up for dinner on the third date without a single rubber in the car. No one be like, it's the third date. You're going to pick her up, and not a care in the world. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I know what's going to happen.
That's
I
right.
guarantee. I know what's going to happen.
yeah. But, you know,
But what do you call what happened with Slice? That's like getting, you know,
It's just the snowball effect.
that's like
I guess.
triple no rubbers.
yeah.
I mean, over and over.
Yeah, that's like a hooker, no rubbers.
He thought that first paint job was going to be bad.
Yeah.
It's a hooker gangbang, but no rubbers.
Yeah, but you know you know the guy that I had paint the car, he was a really good painter. He wasn't a very good I don't know, how do you call it?
Like restoration guy, metal guy.
Yeah, he wasn't a very good metal guy and stuff like that. So what happened is when he redid the car, we changed all the quarter panels. When you sit down, when you close the door, the gap started out big and it went really small. So he did a real shitty job. So it kind of like
Soured you for that car.
soured me for that car, you know, and I kind of put it on the side. And you know, it when what's the name built Joe Rogan's car?
Yeah, Rad Rides, Troy.
Yeah.
Who?
When he built
Start bleeping his name out. I'm telling you, there's no more Troy references. Fucking sick of it.
well, here, listen. When he built that car,
Sick fish.
Yeah, it's just a game changer.
when he built that car, I was like, man, I'm gonna do that to my Charger. You know, and I've always been the type of guy where I always want to have something different. I don't want to have the same stuff that everybody else has, you know. So, you know, I used to. There were these guys. They were called SVS Super Viper Systems, and I was talking to the guy one time, and I said, "Hey, you know, I'd like to put a Viper motor in my Charger, you know." And he's like, "Oh my God, I got the right guy that'll be able to build your car," you know. So we ended up going to the shop, and this guy used to build dragsters, you know. And you know, we went by the guy, and the guy said, "Yeah, no problem. We can." I said, "I want to do a tubular chassis, you know, for this thing. I want to put a Viper motor in it and stuff like that." And so we started like that, you know. We started building the car. The guy did a nice job, but when we put the body on there, it sat stock,
Yeah.
you know? And, you know, I go to the guy, I'm like, "Hey, this car's, I want it to sit really low. I want it to look like it's going 300 miles an hour."
Yeah,
just
you were gonna get a nosebleed.
Yeah.
By the way it was sitting.
So,
Four-wheel drive or donk action.
yeah.
Was the only like experience you had getting into this the Joe Rogan car? I mean, was that the only visual, the only frame of reference?
That's the only thing. I seen this
Start
car.
at the top. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
So when I seen this car, you know, that's when I decided. I said, you know what, I want to put a Viper motor in it. And then, you know, once you start talking to people, that's when the vision starts going. You know, and that's how I started. And so when we put the body on there, you know, I said, hey, I want this car lower. And the guy goes, oh, you can't do that.
I saw it on TV. I know I can do it.
Right. They made a book about it too.
Built it in a week.
You know what? I said, leave the fucking thing alone. Don't touch it anymore. And, you know, my friend Greg Gilbertson.
Little hot rod Greg.
Yeah.
Greg.
Greg.
Yeah, that's what everybody.
Gilbs.
That's what his nickname is on my hot rod. You know, and he, you know, I was telling Greg, and I'm like, hey, you know, this is what happened. You know, we got to take the car to the roadster shop. You know, and I'm like, what's the roadster shop? You know, and he goes, oh, these guys, they build roadsters, and I think they're very talented. I think they can take your car to where you want it, you know? And that's when I came by you guys,
Yeah.
you know?
Back in Elgin.
That was, man, that's a long time ago. Jimmy, you were
many-
like a little kid.
Man, and I was coming every Tuesday.
Yeah, we ruined you pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, we cost you a lot of money.
Yes.
Well, 2 times between the car and then Jimmy, you know, because now he's a car nut.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you thinking when they walk in? You're not bringing the car, right? You're just coming in to talk about it first time.
Yeah, he's coming to talk about. I mean, for us, we're coming off of like, you know, we built. I think we had finished at Mike Grimaldi's truck.
You guys were working on the F-100.
Yeah. But other than that, it was all 32 Roadsters, and I mean, it's metal, right? So we, you know, it was like Troy just got that whole movement started. Nobody else was doing muscle cars to that level. So it was, you look at it like a challenge, like anything else. Like, oh, I mean, that'd be fucking awesome.
Fuck
And
yeah.
In addition to that, Pete comes in. We're like, this dude's pretty cool. You know, he's talking, telling us about what he wants to do. And, yeah, it was a challenge. I mean, it was more intimidating, I think, once we saw the car. Because when we picked the car up, and it shows up, and it's like, it's just a body. Like, I mean, nowadays it's not so intimidating when we're cutting floors out of stuff all the time and you don't think twice about it, but it's literally like 2 quarter panels and a roof skin sitting on kind of sort of a half finished tubular chassis, and it had little Viper wheels and tires on it, and it sat like a 1.5 feet in the air. So it definitely wasn't the most beautiful looking piece at the time. The fucker needed a lot of work, man. I think that was when it was intimidating. Then you're like, oh shit.
How are we gonna say this?
There's a lot to do here.
Yeah, and every time I'd come, I had something new.
Yeah.
Some different.
Or change.
Yeah.
There was always changing.
You know, I think the first thing we did is we cut the whole back end so we can get them big Mickey Thompson tires on there. And
At this point in time, I'm not to derail. I'm just trying to get a frame of reference. At this point in time, had you already started designing and building the restaurants like you're doing now?
no.
Okay.
No, so
Okay.
so we only I only had the 2 restaurants at that time, and you know, it just started out somewhere and just
Well, I was more concerned with, I know this was a long build process, right? And you just started talking about, I had something new. I had ideas.
Yeah.
I also think that you wouldn't have stuck through that long build process if you didn't enjoy the process. I think you really enjoyed coming up with those ideas, being a part of it, and it's interesting to see what you're doing with the restaurants now and how you're building them with those same ideas like cars. That's why I was wondering if it was something there or if that sparked the interest along the way. We're like, I've got to do something to scratch this creative itch along the way.
Well,
I think so. Honestly.
Charger was the gateway drug.
Honestly. Because if you looked at the first couple restaurants, they were nothing special until you got to the Berwyn one.
Yeah.
Well, the first round, I was never there, but I think my dad randomly stumbled into it one day.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, and I think we had met you before that. We were just starting the project.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I walked in this pizza joint. I think this guy's like a gangster or something. You know, it's this tiny little pizza joint. He said, it's just like you see on TV. There's like 2 guys sitting there, you know, like Italian guys.
Yeah. No,
Don't piss this guy
I'm
off.
like, oh shit, we better not fuck this up.
yeah, you know what? It just started off. I know Phil always tells people how when I would come here I talk about
To look like a bulldog. Like, man.
yeah, like I said, I've always been the type where I like nice things. We work hard. I want different,
Different and nice takes work.
yes,
Nice you can buy.
yes,
Different and nice.
yeah, and like we teamed up with these guys, and I used to come every Tuesday. I'd come by, and come up with ideas, and these guys had ideas, and I would always like draw things and do that. Let's do this. I mean, we had somebody do a nice rendering for us, but you never do. Like, I'm not the type of person that goes by a drawing. Like, even if you look at like our restaurants, we design our restaurants, we draw them, everything that's on the inside. Like, the architects would bring us a drawing with like shit on the wall, and we're like, oh man, we don't do that. So, and that's what we did with the car, and it is a snowball effect. Once you start something, you can't go back,
Right.
And it was one of them things. It took long. It's like 7 years. I think it took us to build
It's
it.
a long time.
And money, lots of money. And our thing was if I had money, bring it, work on it. If not, let's hold off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And but I'll tell you, the car turned out beautiful. I know we don't use it enough like we're supposed to, but like that car is one of them cars where like when we first got that car, they actually invited me to one of the car shows to come. It was Mopar night, So I bring the car. They bring me a beautiful spot. They gave me a good spot. I'm sitting there. So me and the boys, we go for a walk. We come back. There's a little kid just trying to climb up to look in the car,
Son of a bitch.
And I go, hey, little guy, I said, you can't do that, So the dad goes, hey, you can't talk to my son like that. And I'm like, I wasn't.
I can't believe you'd be so aggressive at a
What did
car
you
show like
actually
that.
tell him?
Yeah, coming from you.
I told the guy, I said, this car costs more than your house, and I'm not usually like that. I don't talk, but it's just the way
somebody's
he came.
disrespectful like
yeah,
that,
he just came back to me really hard, and like I told him, hey, little guy, don't stay away from the car, I didn't say you little jag off, move out of the way,
Before I whip your dad's fucking ass.
Yeah,
Hey, you should have told him, hey kid, is this your car?
yeah.
No, it's mine. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so we don't have time to. That's the kind of car that you go to car show. You go to shows, big shows.
Yep.
You rope it off. You show it off. We don't have time to do any of that stuff. You know what I mean? And
But I mean, knowing, just talking to you about this, talking to you before, like you enjoyed the process so much. And we've talked about it on this podcast like 20, 30 times. I think it's interesting because there's two sides of the story. There's the guy that enjoys the process so much, right? Every little detail. And it's great. You go through it. Neither one of these are right or wrong. These are just two different types of guys. And then you got everything in between. Enjoy the process. Love talking with the shop and the builders and creating and the fabricators and everything that it is to create it. And then you take it to that first show and it debuts. And then basically after that, everything is anticlimactic. It's downhill. It's like we already did it. We built it. There's nothing else to design.
it's boring.
There's nothing else to create. There's nothing else to talk about. All there is to clean. clean and take it.
Clean and then shoo off little disrespectful kids. You know?
And then-
that's really all that's left.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, it's the guy that he's concerned about is the finish, is getting to that show, whatever it takes. If we've got to, bypass some of the quality here, we got to do this. Well, I don't care. I've set up a deadline in my head, and we're going to be at this show next July, and we're going to be there because that's his, rush, right? That's the thing he's got to do. And sometimes shops are the same way. Then you blow past some good ideas, or you blow past some quality. You do that, but the guy's going to get there, and he's going to show it for 3 years, right? And then tell people I could have done this, but I was trying to get ready for this show. And then there's everywhere in between where it's like take the time, but build it to the things that you want. And then you got drivers and survivors and road tours and everything that's in between. But it's funny how when you obsess about the details, you're creating something so great. But it's something that's so great that after that show is done, that year is done of it being the thing. It's not the thing anymore. It's not going to be any more magazines. It's not going to be the thing that everybody talks about. And it's if you spend that many years building something, it's like you said, it can be driven, but you didn't build it as a driver. So if you're not going to drive it and you don't want to rope it off and you don't want to get in fights with kids' dads, then
let it sit in a showroom at a roadster shop.
Right. But
I was thinking that's a pizza hanging on the wall somewhere in one of the restaurants.
We might have to.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I never get tired of looking at that car. We built, how long ago did we finish that? I mean, it's probably 12 years.
Yeah.
And
I think, 15?
2014, I think.
Okay.
debut
14 or 15.
Where did we debut it?
SEMA.
Yeah. SEMA. But it still to this day, every time I walk past that car, it's just striking,
It's sick.
And it's
Yeah,
funny.
everyone that comes in the showroom, same thing. They're drawn.
It's
right
the
to that
only
one.
car that everybody goes to all the time. They walk. It's like they just beeline. They walk. They're blind to everything else, and it's directly to that car. And then when you start telling them what's been done, it's mind blowing that the car's pretty much scratch built.
Yeah.
kids climb all over it, but we let them do it because
Yeah.
we're not assholes. Like, so we're just like, yeah, come, get in it. Yeah, fucking rode through the gear.
Yeah, pump it a few times before you started.
We bring that Suburban full of kids here and let them just go to town.
You know what's funny? That
It's not a slice anymore. It's a jungle gym.
Yeah. Every time I look at the car, though, it reminds me, the car is you. It's kind of like when you think of, when people have like a dog, and it's almost
looks
like
like
the dog starts looking like the owner.
Yeah.
That's like that car. I feel like. I mean, when I look at that car, I just always see you. I mean, it's
Yeah, I'm standing there. Hey, watch it.
yeah.
What are you doing? No, it's you know what? I think you guys started, you know what I'm saying, just where you've gotten to. It's amazing. And when you sit down, you look at like designing a car. You know, every time I would come here and I'd see something that was done, it was like, wow, this. I always thought that a lot of this stuff gets done by a machine. You know what I mean? And you have guys pounding, putting stuff together. When I'd come back, every time I'd come back, Chad would have something done to the doors. Then he'd have, something else. And I think it was a lot of fun. I think, like you said, that is very true because, once you go through all that stuff, well, now you're bored. Now you want to do something else.
Addicted to that those endorphins and that dopamine rush, and like let's
Yeah.
create again.
So
Let's build a fucking house. Let's build a restaurant. Let's build some
yes,
shit.
Yeah.
And that's where he's at right now.
So it's like right now, like if you look at like our restaurants, we bring our passion into the restaurants.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
People need to spend some time on social media.
You can't express it. I've seen it, and it's basically like a giant hot rod. I
Right.
mean, it is like detailed beyond belief, and everything you look at, like you said, it's not done by an architect because you could clearly tell there's no architect that's going to think that up. Everything is like custom built, detailed, thought about. I don't think there's a single like square foot of that restaurant that
No.
you guys haven't
Right.
touched or thought through.
Every weld is TIG welded. It's not MIG. It's it's done the right
How
way.
much of like the furniture and structure? You guys are making like everything and designing every piece that's going into it.
Everything.
That's insane.
You sit down, you look at like we came up with we started putting like plates on the wall. like steel plates. We're buying these sheets that are like
5-inch.
5-inch by like 24. We shear them. We punch holes in them. We got to grind them. And all of us are part of that. You know what I'm saying? Dominic helps, Petey, Jimmy. So when you look at like a lot of this stuff, we draw stuff on napkins, and we make it happen. You know what I mean? But like when people come to our restaurants, a lot, especially like this new one that we just opened. This one, we went a little crazy with it. We have, Ben Pack came out with them 3 stackers.
Yep.
We started putting cars in there. We found that airplane, we put that airplane in there. And like a lot of people ask, like, what is this place? Are you guys selling cars or
They're confused.
Food?
Is it a mechanic shop? Is it
I
a restaurant?
I tried to show my son the restaurant. You got to check this place out. This is Pete's. They got the Charger. This restaurant. He's looking at all the pictures. Like, that's not a restaurant. I'm like, yeah, it's a restaurant. Here's all the people eating. No, it's like a hot rod shop, Dad. He's 10 years old. Just can't grasp the concept. It's amazing to look at it and see what's on there. And there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah, like
we've got Dave Delancey commenting with some fire emojis. What do we think?
Lobster
We've
Bob.
had. I feel like we need a pizza review because we went to Dave's. What's the
Trading
Post had his pizza, his bar pizzas he calls them.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, over there by him.
Yeah, we were out there.
Yeah.
How was it?
Good
was
old
good.
Lobster Bob.
It was good. I don't know. You guys are both customers, so I've got to tread lightly on the pizza review, I guess.
Yeah,
It's a tie.
you know what? He's a good dude.
Yeah, Dave's good shit.
Yeah, what's his name? You guys know Big Mike named him Lobster Bob.
Yeah.
That's what he was calling him when they were on that trip, on that
Lobster
road
Bob.
tour. That's what he started calling him. Mike was one of them type of guys that he just had to name he had to name everybody. You had to throw something out there, you know what I'm saying? So
Well, you talked about, after Slice and then, where Roadster Shop was at that point and where it's gotten to now. But you also got to realize where you've came. So, like back then, I remember y'all provided all the food for I think it was the Good Guys road tour, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh yeah, it's the customer of Slice. It's customer of Slice. You don't have to tell anybody who it is now. You fucking Paisans known all over the car show scene. They know you guys. You guys are in more fucking magazines than we are. Like, it's all over the I mean, you're at all the shows. Everybody knows who you are. It's crazy the community that can be built, like you said, with doing some cars, meeting those people, and those relationships that came from debuting that car and people that you meet and doing,
Well, I'll tell you, everywhere, like every time we go somewhere, the Pizza Boys. That's what, and these guys advertise the Pizza Boys all over the place, it's one of them things where, cars bring a lot of good people together, we go to these car shows and, sometimes, you sit down, you look, we've made so many beautiful, great people, and we've made so many friends through the cars.
I mean, now we go to the car shows and we don't even look at cars. It's really just to go hang out with our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the camaraderie, you know what I'm saying? And the people, you get excited, we're going to Good Guys Columbus, and you're always going to see somebody, and and why not bring it into the restaurants too, where now I'm going to start with this new restaurant, I'm going to start writing them off as a tax write-off,
Hey,
this way my wife won't yell at me.
This was probably just a long play, huh?
Yeah.
Sprinkling the cars in there.
Yep. It's
You think we're bringing Jerome in? We do a little marketing for you guys at the restaurant.
That's it.
Yeah, we need him, But it's good. And like I said, now we're gonna pass the torch on to these guys, let them start being a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start backing away.
That's where
Are
I was
you
going to
ready,
get
you ready to do that? I mean, Jimmy's a chip off the old block.
Yeah.
I always say he's like a mini you. No disrespect, Dom. I mean,
Oh no, it's true. It's true.
Well,
I want to punch him in the face
You're
sometimes.
like, fuck you. I got to deal with two of these
Yeah,
assholes.
yeah, absolutely.
you know,
He's a good dude, though.
You know, Jimmy always, as being the youngest, he always wanted to come with me as a little kid, you know, and he always hung out with. He always came with me. He was a pain in the ass, you know. Like I'd leave the house, and if I was out of sight, my wife, I'd leave through the garage, and my wife would call me like 10 minutes later. This guy's on the floor, you know. These guys as brothers, they're tight. They always hang out. They got brothers' nights. They go to car shows together. It's beautiful, you know. And you know, when you talk about Glenn, you know, he kind of put a little spark in our thing where we started really buying cars. You know what I'm saying?
He's a great influence on people.
Yeah, he's
It's often said.
yeah.
People say that all.
He's a bad influence, you know. Like one of my
I thought
friends.
he had most of the cars.
That's
That's the story I heard.
They actually were. They were all his.
Originally,
They still are.
Listen, it started off like that till, yeah, my wife kind of caught on to that. After
Yeah, that was
a
always
few
our thing. Oh, that's Glenn's car.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Glenn has an IROC.
I love
Oh yeah, Glenn's
Yeah.
in all sorts of stuff.
Right.
You know,
So-
Glenn.
those stories are still some of my fucking favorite. The dinner time stories.
it's. But you know what? At the end of the day, you know, we have a lot of fun. You know, we enjoy ourselves. We love being around friends, hanging out with all the guys. You know, laugh. You know, bust balls. It's what it's all about. You know. And
When you were with your dad and you started having ideas and you're like, we can take this to the next level, right? You're the young blood, right? We're going to make this bigger. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. How did he receive those ideas?
you know what? He thought I was crazy.
Okay.
You know, like
Different generation.
yeah, different generation. You know, when I opened up my Berwyn store, what I did is, you know, I was driving. We were looking for a bigger spot for our original store, you know, and because that store was just machine, you know. So I was driving down Ogden one day and I see this building for sale by owner, and I go inside there and it's 20,000 square feet. Okay, so I go there and I'm like, wow, it's a big fucking building, you know. So I look at this thing and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take half of it. I'm gonna build a nice pizza joint. The other half, I'm gonna put my cars, storage for all my personal stuff. And, you know, when we started doing like drawings, you know, one of my friends goes, oh, you know, you should put a bar in there, you know, you can make money on liquor, you know. So I'm like, okay. So we drew a bar. Oh, we should do full service. Okay, put full service. Oh, you should do banquets. Well, now it took over the whole restaurant. And when we opened that place, it kind of brought us to that next level where, you know, we started dealing with general managers, bar managers, all these different tiers of people where, you know, we ran our restaurants as mom and pop shops, you know. And once these guys came in, they brought in a different flavor of running a business. You know, if you came in and wanted to make pizzas, come on, we need you now. These guys, they want to interview you. They want to
Yep.
do all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it just, once we started off like that, that's where the growth came in, where we really started getting into stuff. And, you know, right after that, we opened another one, then another one, and now we're up to 10 stores, you know, and like I said, my boys are in the business, you know. Now it's time for them to, you know, do their thing.
When they come to you with crazy ideas, that make you think now that you've got to like be a little bit more accepting to those ideas?
Yeah, you know, you know, they now, you know, my dad was a different generation. I was a different. These guys are a totally different generation.
Right.
You know, they got a lot of different ideas. They got a lot of good things. You know, there's some stuff that I might not agree with, but you know, it's good stuff. You know.
Dominic, what's your first memory of the stores? Any of the stores?
Oh man. So one of the things is the booths that we used to have in Cicero. The way they were made, the support for the booth to the actual table was like a 45-degree angle, and I would pretend like it was a car, and that was the gas pedal.
Right.
So whenever we'd go, there was that, and whenever people would leave like toys, my dad would bring them home for us, like Happy Meal toys, like little stuff.
Right.
You know, that was always something. Just going in the back. One thing with Jimmy was we were by our cousin's house. We'd go every Friday, and we'd order Paisans. They'd deliver it to us, and he was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old, and he ordered mozzarella sticks. Well, they forgot the mozzarella sticks, and he had a fit. He said, and mind you, he's 3 or 4 years old. He said, "Get me on the phone with them. I'm gonna fire someone." I'm not even kidding.
Josh is the exact same
Well,
way
at
when
that
he orders
moment,
mozzarella sticks.
You knew he was management.
At 3 years
material, right?
old.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
this is,
Let me talk to this. I'm
you know
fired.
who I am?
Yeah. Yep. He wanted his damn mozzarella sticks.
That's good.
So
How
Yeah.
early of an age are you knowing that this is my destiny? This is what I'm doing?
pretty early.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because he always had us around.
Yeah.
We were always there. So, yeah.
It's funny when you grow up in a family business. You know, we grew up that way in my dad's body shop business, and I'm just thinking of this now. It's a memory that like just popped in my head, so I'm just gonna jump in and share this because you remember we used to go there and we'd fuck around in the part storage and we'd build like box forts and build shit. And then my earliest memory is my old man and my grandpa got us Playboys. Remember that? And we were young, probably too young for that shit, like 10 years old. Sitting up there fucking looking at these nudie magazines and like old fucking, quarter panel boxes or something.
There you go.
Box sports looking at titties.
Circle jerking.
Oh, it was way too early for that. Way too early for that.
It was just boobs then.
Yeah, they were just boobs.
Yeah, and then
The memories. It's all
and then
coming back.
Yeah, and then through high school, we would work at one of the restaurants on Friday nights. You know, after school, we'd relax a little bit, go in at 5, and we'd work till after the rush, which was like 8 o'clock. And we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Little did we know, like, that is not what the work life is like, the 3 hours a week. Then we'd hang out after. And,
All your friends are coming over.
yeah, the girls would come, and, we thought
Fucking
we were
rock
so
stars.
cool. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's doing it. Yeah, like you
Working
said.
3 hours a week.
Yeah. Then
It's
you
like,
gotta
all right, this isn't too bad.
get up Monday,
Yeah.
do it Tuesday,
Yeah.
do it Wednesday.
Right.
Somebody calls in, you got to go and pull their shift.
Yep.
So how about you, Jimmy? I mean, you grew up. You were coming to the shop
I think
every
he grew up
Tuesday.
at our shop.
You guys would be there every Tuesday.
That has a lot to do with his grades, missing so much
And
school.
mind you, I was in school. I'd miss so much school for Roadster Shop, but
What are you thinking back then? You're walking into, this hot rod shop, looking at cars and hanging with the old man. I mean,
I loved it.
What's going through young
I'd
Jimmy's
wake up
head?
every Tuesday morning with a stomach ache, or I didn't feel good. As soon as a bus drove by, I was ready to go. But I mean,
And your mom knew you were full of shit.
oh, it was on Tuesdays, but I don't know. I always, even to this day, I sit in the back of the car next to my dad while he's on the phone, and I just take everything in. And I think that's one of the reasons why I am who I am today. Whether it's business, personal life, it's just, I am a spitting image of him because I've been with them for so many years. I was going back when I was 3 years old. I would go and close the restaurants on the weekend with him, and he'd be behind the counter. And once we're all closed, counting the cash, and I'm like, my eyes are glowing, you know.
A lot of cash.
A lot of cash, and it just snowballed from there. I was always behind him. He's sitting there saucing pizzas and just watching.
Just taking it all in, huh?
Just taking it all in, and I use those early years to this day, you know, by the way I speak, the way I act, you know, it's really helped me. So I always say, even with my brother's kids, or even when I have kids, you know, we got to do the same thing. Start them young, you know, bring them to the restaurant. Let them sit there. Even if they're bored, let them sit there. It's going to help them in their older age.
Yep.
You know, the younger generation right now, they don't want to work.
Yep.
You know, we see it all the time. You get these young guys, they come in and work, and, you know, after a couple of weeks they're done, you know, or they want more money. It's like, man, you gotta work for that. So, but
How did y'all handle that growing up? Like you said, you're working there Friday nights, high school. Everybody knows where you're at, what you're doing. You know, who's getting close to you for the right and wrong reasons.
I mean, that was, to be honest with you, I think it goes with all my brothers. We don't have many friends. We are our friends. My dad, my brothers. I mean, we do everything together. We'll go to dinner together, car shows like my dad. You know, I mean, we got some close friends to us. Glenn's a good friend of ours. He's with us a couple times a week, but we try to keep it tight. You know, not that we don't have friends out there.
Yeah.
You know, we have friends, but it's some friends, they don't have that business mind. They don't, you know, it's hard to
train them. You trained them well.
He's always told us, just be careful.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, we gotta watch people.
You look into a lot of these younger kids. They get into drugs. The money gets to them. You know, we don't even drink. This is the first time I've ever tried whiskey.
That's the first time I've ever seen you have a cocktail, Pete.
Yeah. Once in a while.
Well, it does help, like you said, when he's been not even telling the story. It's just the way he's living his life. But then when he tells the stories, like you just talked about, I mean, all your friends are saying, we're going to the lake. Hey, we're going to go cruise. Hey, we're going to go do this. I got to work. I got to work. Got to go work. You could have ducked out. You could have came up with excuses. You could have done stuff like that. But you knew you had a responsibility. And the more times that you sucked it up and took that responsibility, the easier and easier it got. Especially when stuff starts falling in your lap. You know, you meet your wife there. I didn't have to fucking go cruise. I didn't have to go meet anybody. I didn't have to take anybody out to dinner. She shows up. She was here at 10 o'clock. And things start going. When they see that example and they see that the life that you've created and the stuff that you've done, it is easier to say, you know what, we got a good thing going. I'm going to do what my dad did. I'm going to make the right choices. You know, what's the worst thing that we're going to miss out on? You know, some funny jokes or some stuff like that or whatever. We're working. We're paying into the future.
Right.
Then we can afford to take a week off and go here with the family or do this and do stuff like that.
Absolutely. And then just by us working hard, he always, whenever we see a car we like, anything, he never says no.
Anything.
It's
anything.
I mean, it's got to be 10,000 or less. We might have 60 cars, but most of them are 10,000 or less. He's got the big dollar shit.
Our mom, that's what we told our mom. It's only 10 grand.
It's only 10.
Are Buicks getting up there over 10 grand?
A little bit.
Your Roadmaster collection?
Yeah.
Man, I gotta say though, Pete, that's that's the ultimate measure of success is these guys. Like all the success you've had, the amazing pizza joints, the cool cars, you've got to be incredibly proud of your sons. I mean, the family you've created, because these guys are just fucking awesome.
Absolutely. You know, I'll tell you something. You know, I've always told everybody, you know, and I'm going to tell you guys, you know, you want to be a parent, but you want to be their friend too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You want to be able, you want to have your kids where they trust you, they come to you, they talk to you. You know, sometimes these guys be like, "Hey, Dad, we're gonna go drinking." All right, go ahead. You'll see how you're gonna feel the next day. You know, or we want to smoke cigars. You know, the first time I let them smoke cigars, I bought them the shittiest cigars that were out there. These guys was like, holy shit, these things taste like shit. You know? So, but, you know, I love my family. You know, I've always worked hard for my family. And, you know, even my wife's like that too. We do everything for our kids. You know, now we have grandkids. We do everything for them guys. And, you know, at the end of the day, we've always worked really hard. And, you know, we've brought our business to a level where we no longer, the business no longer runs us. You know, we run our business. And, you know, and I tell these guys every day, you know, it's like, I tell them, work hard. I don't care. Every day, be here. Your family, you could be with your family, but when you're not with them, put in the time, because at the end of the day, tomorrow we could jump on a plane and leave for a week. Nobody can say nothing to us, you know? You're your own boss. And, you know, the number one thing that we've always taught these guys is to be humble. You know, when they go into the restaurants, we talk to everybody. We say hi to everybody. You know, it's like them are the people that make us who we are, you know, and you see they need help. Pizza's crazy busy. You'll see these guys jumping in, you know, and you know, that's what it's all about, you know, and, you know, when you talk about, you know, I always tell people I'm proud of these guys. You know, I'm proud of them because they like to work. Hey, do I have to yell at them once in a while, put my foot down? Absolutely.
I think I get the most out of that one.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let me hear about that, because my old man, I can remember, like, I count on one hand every time it was, and it'll never escape me. I will remember it until the day I die. It was that impactful.
Oh,
right?
I get it all the time. Okay. But I give it right back now. Now that I'm older, I give it right back. But
it straightens you out every once in a while, right? I mean,
sometimes you need to hear it.
Absolutely. That's how wisdom. We learn.
Yeah. So. You know what? They're you know, here, I'll tell you, like Petey just, he's one of them type of guys, just, he'll say smart ass shit to you that just like, you want to just, you know. Then you got Dominic, he's cool as a cucumber. You know, you yell at him. I'll tell you guys a funny story. We're driving with Jimmy. And, you know, Jimmy's driving. And I'm one of them type of guys that I always have to open my mouth. I'm the passenger. Hey, there's red lights or this. So I go to Jimmy. I'm like, hey, you see the red lights? Slow down. And he looks at me and goes, Dad, don't you think I know how to fucking drive? You know? So I'm like, okay, you know. So now, like, probably, I don't know, maybe a month later or something, I'm driving with Dominic. And
Jimmy was 12, by the way, when he was driving.
Yeah. So I'm driving with Dominic, and I do this exact same thing. You know, hey, there's red lights up front. Slow down. He doesn't say a lick of word, nothing. Just slows down, and that's it. This big mouth right away. He, you know, he's got to say something. But you know, it's we all sit down and we look. You know, we got a good thing going. You know, we're working. We have good pizza, good food. We got killer restaurants. You know, we always talk about them. We always, you know, we want people to come and see them. You know, when you see them, you'll understand.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
it's not all about the food either. It's the experience when you come in. You know, it's not because it's our restaurants, but they are the most badass restaurants there are.
You mentioned something at the beginning about how you got customers still coming in saying, you know, hey, this was my first job. I was delivering stuff. So you got customers that have been eating for a long time. what have you changed along the way that you got the most fucking flack back on? Because you got guys that have been eating the same thing for so long. It could change a sauce, it could change a dough, it could change a little bit of thing out there. You're going to hear about it.
You know what? I'll tell you. We've used the same cheese, the same sauce, the same spices since we've opened. Never never change anything, because you know we're big foodie guys. We like to eat, and I'm the type of person, when I like something somewhere, and when I go back there, that's the taste that I'm inquiring. Like if I have a taste for something, and I'm going to come to your restaurant, right, that's what I'm looking for. And if you change something on that, that's why like we're really hard on like consistency. We're like when back about 10 years ago, we had a lady she was a general manager. She actually still works for us, but she would tell people like to let them know because I always pull up. I got a parking spot. I always park where the handicap is, and it's right in front, and people see it right away. Well, she would have everybody say, "Hey, the eagle has landed," because when I go in the restaurant, I see everything. I see through walls. It's my business.
Yep,
it's my love. And but it's funny. What happened one time? I was parked, and one of the hostesses came in, and she comes in, leaves her purse by the front. Well, I happened to walk a couple minutes behind her, and she didn't see me, and I went in the office, and I was sitting behind the door, and she drops her purse off, comes back in the office, opens the door, and tells a couple of the managers, "Hey, just so you guys know, Pete's here. The
eagle has landed."
Yeah. And I'm like, and the one manager goes, "Oh, he's here." Oh my God, this girl must have turned red, So now I come up front, and I'm sitting at like one of the tables, and I'm watching her, and I can see her just melting, because I'm staring her down. I'm staring at her, and I said, "Come over here." I said, "Hey, why are you telling them guys that I was here?" You said, "Oh my God, Stacy told us to tell her every time when you come here." You know what I'm saying? To kind of warn her, But that's what I mean. Like we're very hard on people because we want perfection. You know what I'm saying? And
how much harder has it gotten hiring now than it was 30 years ago?
You know what? I always talk to people. Like people always say, it's hard to find good people. There is good people out there. You just gotta be picky on it and really pick out the real good ones. You know what I mean? And just take care of them.
I think it is harder because I always hear stories back in the day when someone didn't do their job. You told them, "Get the fuck out." Where now there is no "get the fuck out." It's you need 2-3 write-ups. Are they even good enough? And so I think the times definitely change, but
well, they've changed. Yeah, absolutely. You have so much more. Like you can't just fire anybody that easy no more. You got to have write-ups, absolutely. But when you sit down and talk about good people, we have a lot of good people working for us. They do a nice job, but you just got to be on them all the time. I'm sure same thing like with you guys. You watch these guys, they're bullshitting. They're not doing what they're supposed to, or they welded a couple of the things wrong or did something.
Our guys are perfect. We've never had to say a single word to any of them.
Yeah,
they just come
in.
There
you go.
Can we borrow some of them?
It's got to be. It's got to be a management
I make
style.
good pizzas too.
Yeah, the only thing is one of your guys' fuck ups are way more expensive than our fuck ups.
A lot of
Yeah, yours you just got to comp the meal, right?
Yeah.
You've got to deal with some bullshit though, I'd imagine, because I've sat in some restaurants and I've listened to some people that are like out of line, and I feel terrible like listening to them just abuse a server over something that's maybe not cooked to their liking. How do you guys deal with that when you've got somebody that's just out of line, like a customer? Because I mean, I'm sure that you guys make mistakes. There's probably something comes out and it's an honest mistake, but there's other things that are
Thousands.
Ew, there's other things
Thousands
that
of
are
people.
not a mistake, and somebody's just being a fucking shithead.
Here's the thing. You know, like a lot of people are having a bad day, and what they're looking to take it out on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. We make mistakes. Everybody does. We're human. But when we make a mistake, we'll bend over backwards and do whatever it takes to make it good. But, you know, when some people are just complaining just because they want something for free, it don't work. Yeah. You know, we back our product up. We know what we buy. We know what we serve. We know what we're giving the customers. We know what we're making for them, you know.
I've eaten this entire pizza, but it was cold when I got it. I want my money back.
Yeah, it took us an hour to get here, so hour and 15 minutes. There was a little traffic. But you know what I'm saying? It's you know, we learn to deal every situation is an opportunity to learn how to deal with it. You know, now we have certain managers, if you complain, they'll give you the whole fucking pizza. Take it off. But then you have the right managers that aren't afraid to be like, no, there's nothing wrong with the pizza, you know? And I think once I step back a little, I'm going to write a book, you know, about, you know, I'm going to call it The Life of a Pizza Man.
I'd like to read that.
Good.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff. I'm going to put, you know, what people complain about, what people, you know, just the way things are. But it's a good life, you know. It's a lot of, even with my restaurant, I've made so many friends. I've met so many people. So just beautiful, you know. It's
we actually met Glenn at Paisans.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You know, I tried. One of our friends tried getting us together to meet up a couple of times, and you know, the one day when he brings him there, and it was like love at first sight. You know, we became really good friends.
Not in a
you
gay
know.
way.
Yeah.
Glenn's a good-looking man.
A little gay.
But
Single? He's single, right?
yeah, but you know, we started hanging around with him. That's how we started really going to a lot of the car show, Columbus and all that stuff, and then he kind of threw off a little disease on us with some of these cars that we started seeing him with more and more cars, and we're like, hey, you know,
It's contagious.
Keep up
yeah,
with the
what is
Joneses.
this?
Yeah, we went there. I love Glenn, and I mean, I just admire him. He's such a inspiring
Very humble.
guy. Yeah, humble but super inspiring the way he runs his business. Just his personality. Jalen's fucking awesome. But we went there and got to tour his little personal
Yes.
car collection. It's contagious.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I
So,
mean-
shit, that'd be kind of cool. I'd like to have something like that. It's,
Yeah, I mean, the one, I think the one car that screwed us up was his 62 Impala wagon, that black one.
Yep.
Yep.
One day he said, hey, you could take it home, clean it up. Well, the car didn't need cleaning up, but I said, all right, I'm going to take it home, wax it. You know,
You were doing a
make
little
it-
detail thing for a while, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I ended up having a car for 3 months. Yeah. Take it here, take it to this car show, take it. I ended up waxing that car 10 times.
Yeah.
You know?
We won some awards with it, too. We took the cars. Yeah, we made some money on it. Yeah.
So, I mean, after that car, when we brought it back, I'd bring a 60 Biscayne home, and then I actually got into a bad accident with one of Glenn's cars.
Really?
Yeah, it was a 66 or 67 El Camino. I detailed it up. The fucker smelled like mouse piss. Got it all shined up, and I was actually taking it back to his shop, and a car turned in front of me and wrecked it pretty good, you know. And at that second, I was like, man, what the fuck do I do here?
Set it on
Like-
fire and report it stolen.
Seriously, how do I call this guy and tell him
quick.
one of his classic cars
You got to man up. Do
got
it.
fucked up?
Gotta man up and do it.
I manned up, and he was there in 15 minutes, you know, and he wasn't pissed at all. He, you know, just as long as I was okay, that's all that mattered, you know. And to this day, he got that car fixed, and every time I see it, man, I tell him, man, I'd like to crash that motherfucker again. I hate seeing that son of a bitch.
Finish it off.
Right.
You think your dad riding shotgun pointing out there was a car ahead would have avoided that accident?
Probably.
Yeah.
Slow down. There's an intersection.
Hey,
Still would have told him to shut the fuck up.
Oh, that was full circle. Oh, those are great. Did you ever find the dude that screwed you out of the cheese sticks, the mozzarella sticks at 3 years old?
I don't know.
I think he still works for us, actually.
That son of a bitch.
So
I'm a
he
going
was-
bastard.
He was bringing up like, how do you deal with some of these customers? Like, yeah, like imagine getting bitched out by a 3-year-old about your mozzarella sticks. That day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, in his defense, the motherfucker forgot the mozzarella sticks. You know?
Boss's son. Fucking put him in there. Put double.
it's you know what, we always run into situations. We laugh about stuff. We have fun. You know, the main thing is today is you know, enjoying our families, you know, spending a lot of time with them, and you know, hopefully like these guys said, even our grandkids will get them in the business, you know, and we'll see, you know. We'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
And
We gotta start having some more kids.
Yeah, my son, he wants to pick up skateboarding now.
Does he? I got a little.
Because of your son.
skateboard. Does-
That's why,
awesome.
from the Instagram.
Dude, he'll hook him up.
Yeah.
How old is he?
3.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
So he
age.
watches all of his videos.
Oh, you have them watching them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your
He
son
loves
does
it.
Yeah,
great.
he's an instructor now at a skate camp. He
Really?
does, yeah, skate like 3 times a week. So he's there today.
there
Yeah,
you
I mean,
go.
he's good.
Yeah, that's all he does.
he's
You know,
good.
So it's
I'll-
like 6 hours a day, just skating.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll tell you something. Rocky, Dominic's little guy, man, you talk about a car guy, loves everything. You know, like, so
Is that your favorite grandkid?
well,
Well, how
He's-
I almost got.
So-
I almost
He's
got him.
number
You've got
one.
1 or 2?
2.
2, and then
Yeah.
Shahidi's got?
He's got a little boy, too.
Okay.
so here's the thing. Rocky's the first one, so he's the golden.
Yep.
And we got Louie. He's beautiful little guy. You know, they're all beautiful, but you know, Rocky, because he's the oldest, he's the first one that
Yep.
started hanging out. And it's so funny. For Halloween, he was Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, Burt
He was
Reynolds.
dressed like Burt Reynolds. loves Back to the Future. Loves Smokey and the Bandit. Loves
Knight Rider.
Night Rider.
Knight Rider's a great show.
All them old school classics. You know what I'm
Never
saying?
even talked about Sylvester Stallone, not once.
Oh,
When he gets a little older.
Oh, no, he knows.
He loves.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Damn right he does.
He
His
knows.
name's Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows.
Listen. Loves.
Yeah, but his daughter's name is Sloane.
Oh,
So Sylvester Stallone.
gotcha.
Stallone,
Gotcha.
Rocky.
Yeah.
So he loves Rocky too. You know. So
Burt Reynolds is still cooler.
yeah, he is.
I don't
But-
think so, dude. I think
No way.
I feel like you guys.
Hey,
I'm
I
just
know where
guessing.
they're gonna go. I know where they're gonna go.
Burt
That's fine.
Reynolds, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, Stallone.
I'd
Yeah.
say
Stallone.
Stallone.
Yeah.
If you ask Rocky, he's going to say Burt Reynolds. When he was 1, he couldn't say Smoking the Bandit. So we'd ask him, what movie is this? He'd say, fucking Bandit.
Fucking Bandit.
Yeah. But
Burt Reynolds actually played college football. He played football and could have gone pro. Stallone got knocked out in real life by, like, Dolph Lundgren. He spent seven days in the hospital.
Look at the size of Dolph Lundgren, dude.
Just telling you.
I'd get knocked out by that fucker too.
Dude, they trained.
big
He
guy.
was like cryogenically treated and
Not,
like,
not
using
in the
machines.
movie.
Like,
It's the actor.
No, it's
Best piece of advice you ever received. We're gonna go round the horn. You get to start.
best piece of advice I've ever received. Stay away from drugs, gambling, and I had one time this old guy tell me, he said, you're always going to have money in your pocket. Stay away from drugs, gambling, drinking too much. I always try and pass that on to young kids and tell them, listen, you're going to have a drink, you're going to have smoke, you're going to smoke sometimes. You're going to be in a crowd like that, but just drugs, bad for you. Gambling, bad. Them are the bad things for it. Vices. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's something that I always tell people. So an old customer told me that one time, and and it stuck to my head. So,
What about you?
I guess just work hard, and the fun times will come later on. He's always when I said that anything we ask him for he buys. It's not like here's the money, go buy it. He makes us work. Me, I work 7 days a week. I put in shitload of hours, and we're working hard right now just so later on we could have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't want to work till I'm 80 years old, probably 60 years old, and I want to, everyone has goals. I have my goals, and so I guess just work hard like he always said.
Yeah. And as cliche as it is, that's work hard,
Right.
play hard later. From day one, that's what it's always been. So it's in our heads.
It's work hard, play hard, but just play hard a little bit later.
Yeah, a little bit later.
That's the way it works out.
It's simple, but it's so true. Because you're never going to get to play hard if you don't work hard.
Right.
Right. I mean, the other thing is you also got to play hard right now, too. Because, life is short, too. The years go
Until
by.
you get married and have kids.
Yeah.
Then you don't play hard anymore.
The years go by so quick. I mean, I'm 28 years old, and you look like the Charger's been done since 2014, 2015. And I'm like, man, I was just at SEMA with that car and how many years went by.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, it still goes slow. At your age, it still goes slow. Like me looking back at you as like a little boy seems like yesterday, right? And that's 15, 16 years that have just like blown by. And then I'm sure you realize once you have kids.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like bam,
Yeah.
gone. They're
Right.
born and then they're teenagers.
Yep.
And it's like crazy.
Yeah, it feels like yesterday's
He's going
kid
to
was
get him
born.
married. He's got to start spitting out some grandkids too, right?
Yes,
28.
sir.
That's right.
Are you still practicing or what do you got going on now?
Yeah.
You're still a virgin.
You ain't got many years left.
I'm a
man.
virgin, yeah.
28. That biological clock's ticking.
Yeah. But
He always says his daughter's not, or his kid's not born yet. No, I'm sorry. His wife's not born
My wife's
yet.
not born yet.
You're getting to the age where it's getting a little creepy.
Yeah.
It could be you just haven't met your kids yet.
Or that.
yeah, that could be it too. You never know.
You already talked about your first car, right? So we're gonna bypass that. So your first car, you're gonna try to guess,
Well, I mean, I know these guys, so
but you know their first car.
I think I know. Well, I mean, I remember what they'd roll up in. I don't know what you
At 16.
I don't know what you ended up with as the very first car, but I'd have to guess. I remember you guys you'd come here in that like late '90s Caddy, that like champagne colored four door.
Yeah,
Was
it
that
was
what you-
white. 2000.
Was that what you were rocking?
You got it.
This is your
Yeah,
first
that
car.
was-
TV show.
16
Yeah.
Gotta be a fucking TV show.
You see?
Yeah,
Hey, you were doubting him.
Yeah.
hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, that was 2000 Cadillac DeVille. Low miles. Nice car.
Low miles.
It just so
hose on
happened
there.
that was my first car. And it just happened that he ended up taking that car over because he bought a Jeep SRT. and I fell in love with that truck. And it's not that I took that truck over. It's just I wouldn't let him drive it. I wanted to keep it in the garage all clean, not, you know. So he ended up taking that Cadillac until his friend, I don't know.
Yeah, one of my friends, he goes to me, he goes, hey, what are you doing driving that car? You don't belong driving that car. I'm like, man, you fill this bad boy up, 480 miles. It's beautiful. You know, we've, you know, all my kids, I've always, when they started driving, I bought them $5,000 Cadillacs. You know, I bought him his Cadillac. Dominic got a 99.
What are you talking about? I still drive a $5,000 car. 2002 Tahoe.
We bought Dominic his 99 Cadillac. Same thing with Petey, you know, and you know we've always told him, you know, when you're ready to buy a new car, you know, I'll give you a down payment. You got to make the payments. You know what I'm saying? And
there's the things I've learned. One is no egos whatsoever, right? Humble, and not a care in the world to try and dissuade any stereotypes. No, let's just lean into them. Let's just always drive big body Cadillacs.
Yes.
Pull up to the pizza joint and sit in the side.
Always.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
it's
But I mean, to this day, that was no bullshit. I drive a 2002 Tahoe every day to work, to, you know, just because we don't want to be flashy. We could bring a flashy car.
He knows you're going to run a red light.
Right.
yeah.
So we could bring Slice Charger. We don't want to show our stuff off. We're not those kind of guys.
Right.
We don't wear flashy watches. We don't, you know, we wear a t-shirt and we're ready to work with everyone.
Right.
You know, so.
Favorite, this is Jeremy's personal favorite question. Favorite law enforcement interaction story.
Jimmy's probably got a good one. I feel like Pete dodged the law most of his.
Yeah.
No.
I haven't gotten a ticket in like 15 years.
We just had one, actually.
With who?
Remember Thursday we had one. Remember we got pulled over?
Oh, and they said, "Oh, you guys
Dad
are
doesn't
from
know about
Paisans."
this.
Yeah, we were in his Denali, and you know the lights go on, and we're like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah,
and
I
we're all
didn't
packed in there.
I didn't have my license on me.
Yeah, thank God. But we were right down the street from the restaurant, and the cop, they come from each side, flashing lights, and they go, how many guys are in here?
Several.
You know, and they go, are you guys from Paisans? And we said, yep. And they said, all right, have a nice night.
I mean, the
was like
plate
that.
doesn't say Paisans. Nothing says Paisans. I guess it's just that
This-
big black
this
Denali.
says-
Yeah, yellow.
All right,
That
that's
pull,
easy.
that
but-
pull is priceless, you know.
yeah.
So let's hear Jeremy's
What is
Jeremy's
yours?
situation.
Oh, shit, we've never done meat, have we? No, we did.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
we
I know.
have.
We talked about that time. The
350Z?
no, that wasn't really a run-in with the law because I
Okay,
evaded the
all right.
police on that one. But the high school lawn job story.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. Which I mean, I'll go back and do it again.
There's a
I'm
couple of them I know that you won't talk about, but I'd love for you
like
to.
what?
Let's talk about
What
him,
do you-
Jeremy.
No, this one we can't.
Phil,
talk
do you
about.
know him?
We were talking about it the other night.
Yeah.
What we wanted to do to your house and what happened with that one. All the cops came looking for.
With the ketchup bottles.
Yeah, the.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we're not talking about that one.
That's what.
That's
let's go,
after air.
Yeah, let's go with the second best. But, yeah, this was high school time. I was like a master of the peer pressure. You know, I was just an antagonist, and we're
Shithead, I think is the
shithead. Yeah, we're cruising around with my buddy. This is like senior year of high school. He's a year younger than me, and he's got a Land Rover, one of those Discoveries, and I'm like, dude, you should fucking crank those recycling bins over there with this thing, you know, just fucking hit those. And it's like in a neighborhood. So this guy, he just like yanks it over and he whales these recycling bins and they get tucked underneath the car. And then I'm like, fuck this dude's lawn up. So he drives up in this guy's lawn and it's like 3 people's lawns.
That'd be me.
And then it's across the street, and now I'm getting worried because I'm like, "Oh shit!"
It's
Like,
a lot of mess.
Yeah,
I want to do a
I'm
little
like,
mess.
Dude, I shouldn't have. Like, no, let's ease up. across the street up into the other lawns, and now we're doing like figure eights through the street. It's like 14
Sounds like
lawns.
something we would do.
Right,
For sure.
just destroying people. I mean, this is back in the lawn job days, right? I don't know if you guys.
The lawn job days.
yeah.
I think that was
That's what we call it.
Yeah, this was like the.
You gave him a good landscape job.
Yeah, late 90s, huge on the lawn jobs, right? I don't know if you guys caught that, but so he's just tearing it up, and I'm like, dude, I'm freaking out now because I'm like, easy, right? So now we're cruising along, and all of a sudden, like, we're on the main street, and we get cop pulls up behind us, lights go on. I'm like, oh fuck, we are fucked. Cop pulls us over. He comes up to the car, flashlights out. He's looking in the car and everything, and then there's another cop. And then there's another cop, and then there's another cop, and there's another cop. But by the time you, like, almost the whole fucking police squad there's like 10 fucking police cars there. And they're looking at me, and I'm just sitting here with my hands like this, and the one cop freaks the fuck out that I'm, like, hiding something, right? Well, I'm not hiding anything. He pulls me out of the car, frisks me, all this, and then he asks, where were you guys, like, 10 minutes ago? And I was honestly going to tell the truth, but I mixed up. We were near a school, and I mixed it up. And I told him the wrong place. And then they look at each other and like, oh, yeah, it couldn't have been them. Let us go. So they were looking for the guy that just...
And that was it.
Yeah, they were looking for the guy that just destroyed like a dozen
And you were
lawns.
trying to tell the truth,
And
but
I was
fucked up
honestly,
the
I was
location.
going to tell the truth. And I told I didn't know where the fuck... I
were so
said the wrong
nervous.
school. And then they're like, couldn't have been them.
And knowing our luck, we would have had the recycling bin
Yeah.
still stuck under our truck.
Oh, it was... I mean, there was still plastic melting
yeah.
on that.
So, Jeremy, you were the fucked up kid. Phil was a good one, huh?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't driving, right? I just planted the seed.
Right.
I just planted the seed.
Yeah, you're
But it's
planter.
crazy. I mean, when you think about it today as a homeowner, how catastrophic that is.
I'd move. I'd fucking move.
Yeah, like
It's not salvageable. It's
right.
yards total.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get mad if one of the neighbors like has people over
They parks it.
and they park a little bit like in the grass.
Yeah.
Like it's like, are you kidding me?
Or
what the fuck?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Jesus Christ, we
I
raised
worked
a
hard to get this
fucking
grass
barn?
green.
Yeah.
last summer, my daughter is in college. She goes down to University of Alabama, so she's down in Tuscaloosa. My son is about to be 18. So last year, he's the only one that's at home. So my wife walks in the door. She's doing something. She was doing something out of the garage. She hears something. She runs. She's like, hey, somebody just egged the house, right? My son's gone. It's just me and her home. So instantly, like I had prepared for this event for
Like
years.
a night vision rifle,
Oh, it's
full tactical.
I mean, out the door, gone. I'm literally in the truck driving out before she even gets the word like egg out of her thing. But what I don't take is my cell phone, right? So I'm leaving. I'm just in the truck. Boom, truck's out. Well, I still see the taillights of the two cars that are leaving, so I'm on them. This was one. Remember last year we had the worst like storm ever. It poured rain. It was just pouring. You couldn't see. It was right in the middle of all this rain. So anyway, I'm chasing them through the neighborhood, right? Chasing these two cars, and I see them. In the neighborhood, there's like two ways you can go, but both of them come out to the same road. So they go this way. So I'm like,
Gotcha.
you're fucked. So I go there and I stop and I turn out the lights and I back up in a driveway and I wait and I see the lights coming. As soon as I see the lights coming, I pull out, I stop them, and I can see there's one guy driving with a buddy in the passenger seat, eyes wide like this. They throw it in reverse, and then the next car throws it in reverse. So I'm following them. Then they start getting like pretty fast through the neighborhood, and I'm like, all right, it's 17-year-old kids. Like, what am I gonna do? So then I'm driving. Now I'm not paying attention. I have no idea where I'm at. Like, I've gone through the neighborhood out the back way, and I'm like between Fairfield and the back of the dog park. It's pouring down rain. I have no cell phone. I have no idea where I'm at. Anyway, I get home, but I'm thinking to myself, like, I was so pissed off and I was so mad. I don't know what I was going to do when I caught him.
Right.
And then, like, as it starts happening, I'm like, you know what? I'm glad kids are out egging again. I got home, stood out in the rain, washed it all off with the hose, whatever. But in the instant, you're like, not my house.
Yeah.
But then you start thinking about it, and you're like,
Yeah, you
gives
gotta
hope.
give 'em props.
Gives hope for the
Right.
new generation. I didn't think kids did anything like that anymore.
So did they turn out to be your son's buddies?
was his son.
There was a little bit. It was girls mad at another girl that it was drama. Shit.
Yeah.
Why were they mad at the other girl? What was going on?
It's kid shit.
Blaze was laying it down, wasn't
Can
he?
you get in detail?
I
haven't seen you this end up before.
well, there's only so many things you can talk about, you know.
Yeah.
So do we get to detail?
Yeah, I mean it's
Right after the ketchup bottle story.
I'm sure
The ketchup bottle story is never being told. Oh, that will be life in prison. That is serious.
it'll be the last time we ever see Jeremy again. We've got one last question. Favorite car movie?
Let me think about it. Probably Smoking the Bandit. Yeah.
Not Back to the Future.
No, I'm sorry. It's Back to the Future. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Back to the Future. And ever since I think the first time he watched that movie, he always wanted a DeLorean. What?
Yeah.
How old were you?
Oh, since, I don't know, 2 years old.
2 years
Yeah.
old. He's always wanted a DeLorean. And we've always, I'd probably say for the past, 5 years, we've always tried to look for one. And I mean, we found one. We just didn't make the deal happen. Where did we find that one?
Indiana.
So we were at a manager meeting, and we weren't paying attention. We were looking up cars for
DeLoreans.
sale. So this one popped up in Indiana. So I think he found it or I found it. So I called the guy. He goes, I just put it up. I'm getting so many calls on it. If you guys want it, I'll hold it. But you guys got to be here tomorrow. I said, all right, hold it. We'll be there tomorrow. We left that manager meeting, loaded the truck up, went home, grabbed some cash, and we were on our way. We didn't even tell my dad, and we did not tell my mom, So we're leaving. So it's me and my brothers, and I think my other brother was at the house, and he left with us, and my mom's like, where are you guys going with the truck and trailer? Well, there's only one place we're going.
We're going to help a friend. He's broke down.
Right. So we went to Indiana, bought that car, and we brought it home. And then we had my mom come outside, and we opened the back, and man, she started crying just because he's wanted a DeLorean ever since he was 2 years old, and we finally got him one.
So
Yeah.
you knew she was going to be good with it.
Oh, yeah.
Everything
And
you
that
thought
was-
it would be.
Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it. And that was the one car we didn't need a watermelon for.
Oh, yeah, the watermelon.
A watermelon.
We got to talk about that.
Oh boy.
It's a whole nother segment.
Pete's sleeping in the guest bedroom tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
No,
Go
you-
ahead. No,
you-
you say.
No,
you should
go.
probably say it, yeah.
So what happened is how many years ago was that? When did we buy
We've
that car?
had that car probably 5 years now.
So Jimmy sees a picture of a Lamborghini. Okay. These guys at Chicago Motor Cars, they got, they always post pictures. And he goes, Dad, we got to go and see this car. And I'm like,
We're just going to go look, not
we're just
buy.
going to go look at it, And I'm like, come on, Dad, let's go. So we go there. And the guy's a friend of ours, He throws the keys. He says, go drive it around, Well, we go drive it around. We come back, and I told him, I said, you know what? Can you hold this for a day? Make sure you don't sell it, So I go back. So I go back home, and I'm waiting for the right spot. Catch my wife in the right mood, because that's something that we can't hide.
Yeah, a Lamborghini. That's a tough.
Yeah. So I go to I'm buying another car. She goes, oh, really? So what are you getting? I said, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini. Oh, the hell you are. She goes, you buy that car, I'm leaving. And I was like, okay.
Well, I guess you're leaving.
Well,
So I said, you know what? I wanted to get one when I was 40. I'm gonna be 50 soon. I said, I work hard.
The standard guilt trip. Yeah.
I want to get one. So,
Been there.
And so she says, you buy that car, I'm leaving, I'm gone. And I'm like, okay. So the next day I go and buy the car. So I go and buy the car, and You know, and I parked it right in the driveway. She wasn't home. She gets home. She's mad. I mean, she said, I wanted to rear end that thing when I came to her. Well, there was a watermelon on the counter.
Yeah, she just got back from grocery shopping. So it's
Yeah.
nice, juicy watermelon.
Yeah. So she busted that watermelon on the floor. I'm like, you're cleaning that shit up.
Inside the house. It wasn't like it was outside. Inside.
I was thinking it was going on the hood of the car. That's gonna be
So,
expensive.
so she was mad for a couple of days, and she was okay.
So whenever we got a new car and Big Mike was around, he said his always thing was, "Get the watermelon ready."
Yeah,
Oh,
he
fucking
would-
right. Oh,
That's,
fucking
that son of a bitch. He would antagonize Julie. He's like, even if we weren't buying a car, hey Jewel,
just fuck with
yeah, he'd be like, hey Jewel, you know we're going to Good Guys Columbus. Oh, hey Jewel, get the watermelons ready. You know, and she's like, and she'd call me right away. She's like, are you guys buying something? You better not be buying something, you know.
No, but Glenn is.
But yeah, you know, we all have great stories. We have a lot of stuff, and you know, it's fun, you know. So
Guys, it's been great. It's been an absolute blast. We're gonna have to come down and take the wife and son down. Which, if I'm gonna go to a location, what's the one location I need to go to?
I'd probably say Oaklawn.
Oaklawn.
That's the new one.
It's the newest, sickest.
Right. We're gonna go to Oaklawn.
Yep.
Either this weekend or next weekend. We're going to Oaklawn.
You guys should all come.
Yeah.
We need to do it.
Yeah, bring the
You
whole
just
family.
walk in and be like, I know the guy who owns the place.
I know.
Bring me one of everything.
I know Pete.
Do you guys all work out of one restaurant, or do you have like a corporate office, or you guys bounce around? How does that?
So our corporate office is in Berwyn. That's our main store. But like we spend a lot of time there.
We're really all over.
But we go mostly on the weekends. These guys go to each store, check on them. You know what I'm saying? It's nice when you see one of the owners there. People tend to respect us a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? They we try and hire good people so everybody's doing what they're supposed. But you still got to watch everybody.
Hire good people to represent us too.
Yep.
Yeah, and but you know we spend a lot of time in Oaklawn because of a brand new store, a lot of new customers. It's a whole new customer base out there on the south side, and we still get a lot of like I get a lot of people that been coming by us like we were telling you, the flyer kids. You know, I mean, when I see them guys, it puts I get chills when I see them, and it puts I can sit and I see them people. I can rewind the clock 35 years, you know, and it's beautiful. And I'm excited that you know my kids are in the business. They're gonna do their thing, you know, and maybe my grandkids and.
When are you guys getting the Barstool Sports Review? I mean, you guys got to be number one in Chicago. How is
don't think
Portnoy not?
He was actually just at a pizza place in Oaklawn a few weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
He's got a little different palate though, doesn't he?
I don't think our pizza's his type.
He likes a thin,
New
crunchy,
York style.
yeah, but a little bit of flop,
Yeah.
Little tang.
a little bit of
Yeah.
tang. Yeah, yeah, he does. You see the pizzas that he rates high, just the
Right.
way they look. It's a little different of a,
Right.
like you said, New York style.
Yeah, if you look at like there's a pizza place that's not that far from Oaklawn. It's called Vito and Nick's, and I mean that pizza's like paper thin, and
And it tastes like cardboard.
it's
Let's
like
be honest.
it's like burnt, but that's a tavern style pizza, and like that pizza you can't take it home and eat it later. You know what I mean? It's just that's the kind of pizza it is.
Right.
Our pizza, when you look at it, there's a lot of cheese, there's a lot of sauce, you know. And I always tell everybody, you can eat it hot, cold, 3 days old. No, it's good stuff.
It was damn good. It always
So,
is.
But it's good. I don't know if that guy wants to come by, try it out. Whatever he
He's
says.
probably listening. I'm sure Portnoy.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
every Monday.
big time listener. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we had an episode. I get shit for my southern accent. I mean, we've got, just so you guys know, we got listeners from all over the world. We got
I didn't even know you had a southern accent.
Australian,
I just thought you were fucked up.
Canada. I'm just glad.
That's not mutually exclusive.
Somebody's gonna have to struggle understanding some people besides just me with that South Side Chicago that you guys got going on. Now I'm not the only one that's got the heavy accent. So this is a good one.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Dude,
It's
it's as good as it gets, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks for coming.
This was really fucking fun. You're gonna be at Triple Crown here a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
You guys driving something out there? Or you flying?
Maybe one of our $10,000 cars.
No, we're gonna bring the Buick.
Nice.
Hey, I'll tell you something. Last year, I told him, I said, get rid of this fucking thing. and I told him, get rid of it. And we actually took it to Lake Geneva with the whole family in there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Beautiful. That car
That's
drives.
the Roadmaster.
Oh, my God.
He also said that about the Grand National. We
Yeah.
brought that car home, and he was like, get it out. We were like, no.
He's not a Grand National guy. You would think he
Really?
would be.
And that's
you-
hard to beat the ride quality of a Roadmaster.
No,
That's true.
I'm telling
Sitting
you.
on a lazy boy recliner.
Front seat is the
Beautiful.
best thing.
After that, I said, we're keeping this thing. We're not going to get rid of it.
And now it's displayed in Oak Lawn.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but
If anybody's listening to this right now, Triple Crown is in like 2 weeks or something like that. And if you see the Pizza Boys walking around, make sure you let them know. You're gonna have some pizza down there in Nashville.
man, I'd love
hard
to
to
bring.
keep it fresh.
I'd love to bring a
You need
nice.
to bring it. Get Bobby to give you a spot. You need to bring like a pizza truck down there and do
You
something.
guys build a big rig.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I was talking with Gary, and he said he wants to have an official pizza guy that's going to be there, and he wants us to be there. I told him we're a little expensive, you know. He's going to have to pay us to be there, but
Tell him about
Celebrity
the truck.
appearance.
no, I
think Roadster Shop fucked us up on the Peterbilt truck.
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't help
It
any.
happens.
Yeah, you guys got that truck, and then we had to buy one too.
That's a good looking
Yeah,
truck.
yeah,
Too bad you guys use yours. We don't.
yeah.
Ours sits and collects dust.
Low mileage, baby.
Very low.
I think they stopped making them this year, so could be a collector's item.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
we're
they're,
saying?
They're done. They're done with the 389s.
He keeps telling me we gotta sell that fucking thing. No, we're not.
No, it's
selling it.
appreciating. it.
I'm still working on my
It's an
CDL.
investment. All right, fellas. See you again next week.